Hello everyone, welcome back to Undermine! So, I promised in my quality time that we would actually be getting down to some more directed solo play here on the Undermine server, where there are Aeneas and Papercraftian currently online, and this is the ravine that is situated neatly directly behind the skeleton spawn that I found in the first episode. And I have decided basically to populate it, to renovate it, to make it a nice dwarfy place for living. So I've got a bunch of different plans for around here. This is maybe the one we're working on today. But let's see, I want to have like some kind of housing, maybe a few stalls or such on the ground level here, which is directly connected to the skeleton spawner. And then along here I'll have different like different places that generate stuff, so farms, the blacksmith forge, that kind of thing. And then just over underneath, I kind of want this place to be like essentially disabled access. There'll be like a nice, useful, like minimal activity railway, so you can like hop around and like go to different places and like get around without having to waste your hunger or whatever if you happen to be particularly hungry or whatnot. And more or less this is going to be making heavy use of the replay mod that you will have no doubt seen some stuff of, but just in case you don't know what that looks like, here is a quick little segment for you, so enjoy. Right, so that's what the replay mod lets me do, which is pretty fun and awesome, and I love it so far. So, today, in order to do a really proper dwarfy build, you have to have a lot of smelted stone and the like, but putting silk touch on basically all of your pickaxes is not exactly the most economical of ideas, so you really need some kind of solid smelting setup. So, I have cleared out a bunch of room here for a new smelting furnace array. Now this is very similar to one that Izumavoid used in his most recent at the time of release on this Hermitcraft free episode, but it's actually got a few little improvements over it, not really too many, but also I'm going to redstone the hell out of this thing, because heck knows I love me some redstone. So the first thing that we are going to need is a lot of chests. So it's going to be 8 per level. The reason I'm going with 8 is because it is 8 pieces of... 8 items get smelted by a single piece of coal, and then 8 goes into 64 a stack 8 times. So if you have 8 furnaces, each with a piece of coal in them and 8 items, you can smelt a stack in the time it takes to smelt an eighth of that. Mathematics, yay! Okay, so there is one set of 8 that we're going to need, so I shall just add these in immediately. Already got the output ones down here. The actual like fuel delivery will be at the back. So when Azuma did this, he had it so that this was the level that went directly into the furnaces, and it was also the one that was directly coming out of the input chest, which I presently have secreted up here. I might change that around a bit so there's like an item elevator so it goes up instead, because having this situated in the ceiling isn't exactly the most... yeah, it's not the most like feng shui, for want of a description. doesn't look quite right. Okay, and then we need another 8 on top of that, which is what Azuma had. Or rather, which are serving the purpose that Azuma's did. Oop. And at some point I really need to try and think up some decent access route here, because this is not easy. Okay. So, I'm going to need to wire this in a bit of a funky way, but should be fine. Just add these in. Get rid of that. Which will now be in there, I imagine. Hang on. Oh, look at that. Where did that torch go? I'm now heavily confused as to where these objects are going. Okay. Huh, interesting. I wonder if they've gone into the hoppers. Spooky, spooky sounds. Okay, that's where the torch... There's the torch. Does that mean the hopper? Yes. Okay, so apparently the furnace can still accept anything at all. Right. Weirdness. Let's just stick a torch up there. Okay. And I am still low at this one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, nope, there. Okay. So these are the hoppers that determine how how everything goes in. Those are the ones that are going to be locked by default. But first we need to actually put the 5, 6. There we go. First we need to actually put the hoppers on top that actually feed everything. There we go. And let's just compact that a bit. Okay, that's actually less compact, but nonetheless. Right. Ooh, and I need to get back up here. Okay. So, let's add ourselves a block here, and another one right there for the moment. And then we just need to feed this along to here. So that's the first furnace right there. And then we need a couple, probably about 3, I think, more hoppers to feed the actual items in the chest into these hoppers. That's a little bit tricky to set up from in here, so we'll do that from outside. We can get rid of that now, and plonk that there, and just run that through in a moment, but for the moment it's fine. Right. This is probably a lot easier to do in an open plan, but it's kind of hard to find an open plan when you're underground. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Goop. And make some chests. There we go. And all of that iron that I've been hoarding suddenly comes to fruition. Okay, there, and there. Gets us 3 more. Okay, and we need that to go there. Perfect. And let's just add the other 2 that need to come in here. Right, so into there, I think. Yes, that should do perfectly. Okay, so now we need to add some redstone. Always the cornerstone of a wonderful project is redstone. Okay, there we go. So bring that along. Reaching range is 4 blocks. Okay. There. And, oh, nope, you don't go there at all. Bad hopper. Okay. So this is gonna be a fairly substantial build, I think, because I need to ensure that the fuel item gets properly fed in, and I need to make sure that the system is fully capable of taking in all the items it needs, as well as a few other things. Okay, stick that there, and then that there, and then we actually need a repeater up there, so... And I'll explain why in a moment, because it causes some issues if you don't have a repeater there. Right, so we need 2 for a repeater and 3 more after it for a comparator in a moment. Gonna need some stone, so let's just grab all of this stuff. Okay, 1 comparator and 1 repeater. And a whole bunch of leftover stone. There we go. Okay. So, get back up here. Smudge that out of the way. Stick that there. And that now locks all of these hoppers. So nothing gets pulled out of them at all. Which is good, because it also means they don't try and drag anything in from the top. So, now we need to do a little bit of acrobatics to put a comparator there. And now, if we stick 8 of these cobblestone in there, doop, into the input chest, we should see... Yep, it's all draining out. Good. We should see that we end up with 1 in every single furnace. So just make sure that's true. Whoop, there's a torch in there. There we go. That is why you have that second layer, that second level of hoppers. There we go. Good. Very good. Perfect. So that then means that we can stick a piece of coal into all of these, and they'll all be fed properly. The next thing I need to figure out is to have a counter whenever every time this pulses, and then on the 8th it just spits a piece of coal in, so that every 8 items gets a single piece of coal, so we get perfect fuel efficiency. But I think that's probably going to be something for the next day. Let's just grab that. Okay. Nice and tidy, more or less. Not quite aesthetic just yet, but you know, it's a start. We're working on it. We're working on it. So, with the actual like layout in here, I'm probably thinking I need to have a fairly decent-sized entryway for people on the disabled line to come in, and then I think over here we'll just have this. Make it look a bit prettier, and then on the sides we'll have items for different scales, because there is a system I've designed that would allow me to scale up however many item smelts I want based on the fuel. This includes for lava, which I'm going to have some kind of decent stock of, because it's 1 to a slot. You only have 9 in a 3x3, so not magnificent. And I'm going to have one for blaze rods and all sorts, and I'm going to have to just basically make this place as automated as I can. That's like my main idea for Ravinetown here, is to make sure everything is as absolutely automated as I can make it, so that the residents don't have to worry at all. But that's it for this video, so I hope you've enjoyed, and as always, catch you next time.